I live in Durban, South Africa, and I've been pastoring a church here for the last 20 years. I was one of the very first Open Seminary students with Valence back in 2001, 2002, something like that. Leading a church leadership team, it has given us a huge resource in terms of a methodology for approaching how we lead things with a theological perspective.
I'm currently leading the Father's House in Rochester, New York. OS did not only challenge but enlarge and envision us to work out a working theology for church, not only for now but in the future.
Just after doing Open Seminary, I went and lived in a village in Malawi. And since then I've done chaplaincy and now I'm a preaching and teaching pastor at my church in Ocean Grove, The Way. And I certainly know I've drawn on some of that thinking as a preaching and teaching pastor now.
As a pastor, it has helped me to engage better with my congregation. As a teacher, it helps me to engage better in the secular community with my students and with my athletes that I coach. I believe that the Open Seminary Project is truly transformational.
Open Seminary has changed my life in many different ways. Right now, I actually transitioned from a 25-year career in the pharmaceutical industry to becoming a dean in Esperanza College of Eastern University.
I would say every day that I'm here doing the work of the messy work of church, I'm so aware of what I learned through the Open Seminary.
It's definitely impacted the way that I approach theological questions and pastoral concerns. So it's definitely made a mark there.
And in my work with people in chronic distress and pain, I'm trying to encourage them to be questioning and seeking in their time of distress and finding those answers.
I'm so grateful that I did OS when I did, because it really equipped me both theologically and practically for ministry life. It has become part of how I solve problems that arise in the church. I use the method when I prepare and preach my sermons.
I didn't realize how much I would really enjoy research and discovering tension between opposing theological opinions until I wrote my very first personal theology paper. To this day, I use those same acquired skills when I'm preparing for new teaching material.
I still use the course a lot. I really appreciated that we had to deep dive into those assignments, into the major assignments.
But through our emerging question, I would always gravitate back to youth. So I've done something more with the youth in our church.
It's been incredibly helpful. I've even put out a couple of old assignments, re-looking at mission and the purpose of church. So Open Seminary has been incredibly helpful in my life.
And I just love how my knowledge and my ability to relate and impact this generation in my city and beyond has been significantly enlarged.
I feel like almost every day I am using some things or applying some things that I used from the class in my everyday life and in church ministry.
After graduation, the process continued, and I was part of starting a new church in the Winfield section of the city of Philadelphia.
Currently, I am a community pastor at a church, and I'm in transition to begin teaching Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, and apologetics to high schoolers.
As I continue to pastor in a local church in upstate New York in the Northeast, a church that is expanding and trying to reach multiple generations and diversities and ethnicities and socioeconomic backgrounds, contextual theology has become instrumental in my working out, my practicing of theology.
I was privileged to be part of the first formal class that graduated, and at the time it was from the University of Pretoria. Open Seminary has had a huge positive impact in my life. When I arrived, I was very much a dogmatic, opinionated, legalistic Christian. However, through the 3-year journey, through the conversations, the friendships, the interactions, God really used Open Seminary to change my heart.
It enabled me to deconstruct my system of beliefs and then slowly begin to put them back together again.
So grateful to those years in Open Seminary, deepening my faith, giving me a humble confident around the chief claims of the gospel, and yet humble where there are divergent views on matters. Open Seminary has really served me well.